everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Farah, and in today's video I thought it would be fun to try out another tag. So I'm going to try to do the spooky Halloween tag. I found this tag on a channel called Books of Blood, and I actually have seen this on a few other channels, but it looked like a good one to do, so I'm going to give it a try. Question number 1. What is your favorite horror or Halloween themed song? Probably Thriller by Michael Jackson. That's the first thing that popped into my mind. Question number 2. Name something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest or an abandoned building. Probably a bear in the forest. I would not want to run into a bear. And in a dark abandoned building, probably a scary man. Question number 3. Have you ever played with a Ouija board? Yes, many times. When I was like preteen age, middle school, we had a Ouija board, my sister and I, and my brothers and sister and I, we used to play with that thing all the time, invoking God knows what into our house. We used to have friends, when we had friends come over, we'd play with it. We would ask all these questions. I can remember one time one of my brothers is 5 years younger than me, and we did like this seance around him, and like, I can't even believe my mother let me do that. My, Irish Catholic, letting us all have Ouija boards, whatever. But I would never touch a Ouija board now. Nope. Question number 4. Favorite horror monster or villain? I guess I would have to pick, I had to look at Google for this because I haven't watched a ton of horror movies, but I guess I would pick from a list that I looked at, probably Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs, if you consider that a horror movie. What he is and what he does is really horrifying, but I love that side of him that seems so smart and refined and mysterious. And he's such a good character, such a great movie, but such a good character. And I loved how he could kill Jodie Foster in any second, but he doesn't. So I think he's my favorite horror monster. A second favorite though would be maybe from the movie Gremlins, the Gremlin guy. I mean, I loved that movie when I was little, so probably that one too. Number 5, the creepiest thing that's ever happened to you while you were alone. So I would say there was one night where I was actually in the same room, and it was just when we moved here, and I was unpacking stuff, and the girls were still really little, so I was unpacking a bunch of toys, and I was just sitting there, and it was quiet, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see one of the toys start rocking on its own. I had no explanation for it. It shouldn't have been doing that, but it did. But yeah, that was pretty creepy. And I have more to add to that in a minute with one of the next questions. Question number 6. If dared, would you spend the night in a haunted house? Well, technically, I spend the night in a haunted house every single night. We do kind of believe that our house does have some paranormal activity. This house has been in our family for over 50 years, and it was owned first by my grandparents, and then different aunts and uncles have lived here, and now we do. But there have been 5 different family members, at least, that have seen actual apparitions in this house. My daughter is one of them, but I personally haven't seen anything. But I have had a lot of auditory things happen. And then I mentioned the toy rocking and things like that. So yeah, I do. Every night I spend the night in a haunted house. We think. It's good energy though. It never feels scary. I mean, it can sometimes be a little alarming, but I don't feel any negativity here at all. Thank goodness. Question number 7, are you superstitious? I don't really think I am, but sometimes I am, I think. If it's a deeply rooted superstition that I learned when I was a kid, then I sometimes am. Like, yeah, I guess I am a little bit. I don't know. Number 8, do you ever see figures in your peripheral vision? I don't think so. I don't think I ever have. I sort of made an intention in this house that I didn't want to see anything. So if there was anyone here with me, I'd really prefer not to see them. And so far I haven't. Again, my daughter has seen somebody. When we first moved in here, we walked in the door and she was about 5. And I think when you're younger, you might be more open to seeing stuff or more sensitive to that stuff. But she asked who the person was that walked by in the blue coat, and there was nobody here. So yeah. Number 9, do you prefer gore or thrillers? It depends. If it's If it's campy horror and gore, then I think that's really fun. So some of the older movies and movies that are meant to be really silly, I think the gore is kind of fun. But I always enjoy a good thriller. But sometimes with thrillers, I get so anxious. Like, I can remember watching the Game of Thrones as it was coming out, and some of those scenes, the really tense scenes, I was like physically shaking. I can't handle it. So probably both. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for that. Number 10, do you believe in multiple worlds or dimensions? I don't really know. I mean, I can't honestly say that I believe we're the only planet in the entire universe that has life. So yeah, I believe in other worlds and dimensions. Question number 11, have you ever made a potion? No, I don't think so. Besides just playing outside when I was little, like with water and sticks and mud and leaves. No, I haven't. Question number 12, do you get scared easily? Yes, very easily. I am a scaredy cat. Very, very easily scared. Question number 13, have you ever played Bloody Mary? No. Nope, that scares me too much. So no. Question number 14, do you believe in demons or the devil? No, not really. I think that the devil is a human-made entity that has inspired fear and acted as a way to control. I do watch paranormal investigations channels, and there's this one called The Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. And this guy has the most incredible paranormal footage I've ever seen on any YouTube channel. He captures a lot of dark activity. So that is the only thing that really kind of shook me up, because before that I really didn't believe in demonic entities and stuff like that. So I don't know. I hope they're not real. That's scary. Number 15, you're home alone, but you hear footsteps in your house. What do you do? So I have had this happen, and I always blame it on the cats. I always blame it on them. And that's why I always need to have animals, because I need something to blame noises on. Number 16, if you got trapped in one scary movie, which would you choose? Again, unfortunately, I haven't watched a ton of scary movies. If this kind of counts, I would guess I would pick Stranger Things, especially season 4. That had the most horror elements to it. And I just love the characters. I love the kids. I love the villain. Yeah, maybe he's my favorite villain, Vecna, actually. That's a good one. Probably them. I just really love that show. So yeah, I guess I would pick Stranger Things. Maybe I'd be friends with Joyce and I'd help her. I don't know. Kids wouldn't want me hanging around. Number 17, if you could only wear one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would you be? Yeah, I do have a favorite Halloween costume, actually. I dressed up a few years ago as a black and white silent film actor. So I'll put a picture here if I can find one. We had a Halloween party at our house. Mr. Bookstalgic dressed up as the Headless Horseman. So together we just looked really funny, and the costume itself was just fun to do. I did gray paint all over my face. I had a black wig. I had like a flapper dress, and it came out really good. So that was one of my favorite Halloween costumes. So I guess I would pick that one. Number 18, would you ever go to a graveyard at night? Yes. We have a graveyard very close to our house, and I go walking in there. I feel very comfortable there, and I wouldn't be afraid to go to a graveyard at all at night. Number 19, in a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice? I don't know. I guess I would do, what's something that you don't run out of? I guess a machete, maybe? Yeah. Slice and dice. Number 20, would you rather go to a Halloween party or go trick-or-treating? I guess a Halloween party. I do still go trick-or-treating because my kids are young, not super young, but they still like to go trick-or-treating, and that's fun. I like to experience it through them, but yeah, Halloween party at this point, definitely. Question number 21. You're in a horror movie. Are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? I probably would be the skeptic. I wouldn't accept what was going on. I would think there's another explanation, and that would probably get me killed. I'd probably end up being the first one killed, though, with that attitude. So yeah, I guess the skeptic. Question number 22. Do you have to watch something happy after watching a horror movie so that you can go to sleep? Yes, I do. I really do. Again, I don't watch a ton of horror and I don't watch a ton of scary stuff, but I do have to watch something funny before I go to sleep. The scariest movie I ever saw was Paranormal Activity, and it scared me so much. I like barely slept all that night. It was so awful. I never want to watch any of those movies again. Sometimes when I watch a scary movie, I have to Google the bloopers or I have to Google behind the scenes because it definitely helps. I get so scared. I can't help it. It's just part of my personality. But yeah, I have to watch something before I go to sleep. Question number 23. Whilst watching scary movies, are you the person who yells at the characters, the person with their eyes covered the whole time, or the person who falls asleep? Definitely the person with their eyes closed half the time. I can't help it. Whenever I just watched Nightmare on Elm Street. I threw it in one of my vlogs. I think I probably already posted it. But I was just watching it like this. I don't know why that feels better to watch it through your fingertips, but yeah, I always do that. I can't help it. So yeah, that's my answer for that one. Question number 24. Are you the one who gets scared or the one who does the scaring? I mean, it's probably obvious by now. Yeah, I'm definitely the one that gets scared. Question number 25. What is your favorite scary book? I'm not really sure. Again, I don't read a ton of scary stuff. I guess I would say my favorite scary book, it wasn't really scary, but it was a horror, was called The Troop by Nick Cutter. And this book talks about this scoutmaster named Tim. It takes place off of Prince Edward Island in Canada, off of some, fictional remote island. And he takes this group of boys, like 5 14-year-old boys, to camp for the weekend. And it's probably their last trip. And there's this horrific parasite that finds its way onto the island. And yeah, let's just say it's not a good thing. That was the most disturbing book I ever read. The author used the sense of smell a lot to describe situations and things happening. And that really built up the terror and the creepiness and the disturbing feelings. So yeah, I would probably have to say that book, The Troop. Number 26. How old were you when you saw your first horror movie? My parents were pretty strict with us when it came to the type of movies we were allowed to watch, so I don't really remember. It was probably sometime when I was a teenager, but I do have a memory of seeing something on TV, a clip of, I think it was called Creepers, and there was a scene where this boy was running and he ran into this bathroom and he closed himself up in the stall and he stood up on the toilet and was like terrified and panicking. And then all these slugs came in, like these leech-like giant slugs came in, and they found him and they started crawling all over him. And I always remember that. I must have been really little. I'll have to figure out what that movie was. Another one was Arachnophobia. I somehow managed to see clips of that. There was a scene where this woman had spiders coming out of her shower, and nope, that scared me so bad. But scary movie was probably Gremlins. That was the first one. I just don't remember when I saw it. And that's not even really scary. That's fun scary. Number 27. What was your first Halloween costume? I think my parents dressed me up as a rabbit. I have a twin sister, so we were both little rabbits. Yeah, I think that's my first Halloween costume. Number 28. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? I don't know yet. I'm cutting it real close. I have a Halloween party to go to towards the end of the month, and I need to figure that out. I'm not really sure. And the last question number 29. If you could have a spooky Halloween pet, black cat, owl, bat, rat, wolf, what would you pick? Definitely a wolf. I would love to have a pet wolf. That was nice. Yeah, easy answer. So that's it for the tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really had fun filming this. And I would like to tag B-roll books. If you are interested in doing this tag, I'd love to hear your answers. He is a new YouTuber and he's great. His very first video is amazing. You guys should definitely check him out. His name is Ellis. And yeah, if you're interested, I would love to hear your answers. I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween if you celebrate. And I will see you in my next video or in the comment section of one of your videos. Take care, everybody, and I will see you soon.